Okay, so today I'm going to talk to you guys about how to get a 4.0 in college. It's definitely an attainable goal, so I'm going to give you guys tips and tricks and advice about how to get a 4.0 in college and what you can do to raise your GPA and everything like that. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Alright, I have a little list for you guys and everything. And that's just so, I don't get off track because, I got pregnancy brain right now, whatever. So I'm in my junior year of college, and I got a 4.0 my freshman year of college. First semester, I got a 4.0, and then my second semester, I got a 3.99 or whatever. I took 18 credits my second semester, and so I ended up getting an A minus in one of my classes. And so, yeah, that's how that worked out. And so, the first thing that I would want to tell you guys is to build a relationship with your professor. This is really, really important. And so you do this by showing up to class and being present. Now, there's a difference between showing up to class and being present. Showing up to class is just, showing up. You might sit in the back row, whatever, but you there, your attendance going to be good. But being present in this class is actually showing up, sitting in, the front rows or middle rows, whatever. Asking questions or answering questions or asking the professor to clarify, engaging in the conversation and adding to the conversation, So you want to do that because that's really important to getting, known in class, so your professor knows you, so you build that relationship in class. Now, outside of class, you will want to take advantage of professors' office hours. And so in office hours are opportunity for you to go to your professor, get help, or get to know your professor, because they're really an important resource for you during your college careers. You want to know your professor because if you're struggling in the middle of semester or anything like that, you can go to talk to your professor because you have that relationship and ask them okay, I need help, or I need an extension or something like that. And then also knowing your professor, and when they know your goals and they know you serious about your education or whatever, that could be the difference between a B minus and a B, or A minus and an A. It's happened to me a couple times, more than a couple times, knowing my professor, knowing I was supposed to get a B minus or knowing I was supposed to get a C, and they raised that boy up a letter grade or half a letter grade. And that's clutch, definitely, when it comes to when when your grades coming in, so you oh, I'm having A in this class and B in this class, you know what I'm saying? And then you get better than what you expect. And that's because you got that relationship. Second piece of advice I want to give you guys is to prioritize. And to prioritize means, for example, you got a party tonight or whatever, but you got a paper due at 11:59, or you got a project due in the morning or a presentation in the morning. No, that is not a good idea to go to this party when you got, what I'm saying, a paper due tonight, presentation tomorrow. Don't set yourself up for failure. That is so important. You have to prioritize, even with beyond parties, with boys, if you're a girl, or girls, if you're a boy, or, if you gay, then, boys, but, just other people you interested in. It's easy to prioritize people you're interested in over your work as well. And so it all comes down to priorities. You have to put education up there. If it's important to you and it's important to you to get a 4.0, you have to be okay, well, let me get this done before I go out to this party. And that's really simple. It's not simple, but it's if you want to go to a party, make sure you get your work done before you go so you can have fun. It's nothing wrong with going to a party because it's college, but you want to make sure you prioritize your work before doing things like that. Third thing I want to tell you guys is to use your resources. And when you go to college, there are plenty of resources. There is probably a writing center, tutoring, a math center. Your professors is a resource. Joining organizations and getting to know people, that is a resource. You want to use your resources as much as you can. You pay all of this tuition, you go to college, and you probably building loans, or you got a scholarship, or whatever. Whatever it is, it's money. You want to invest in yourself, and you invest in yourself by using your resources. Your professor might probably be your greatest resource. Sometimes they're not, because you might get a professor who's not that helpful, but overall, your professor is probably your greatest resource if you need help in that class. And that's what office hours are for. That's a resource. And you go to your professor and you talk to them, and they might be able to guide you to other resources if they can't help you the way you need it to be helped. Okay, so the fourth thing I want to tell you guys is to do your work. Like, I know, like, you just want to skate on by, not have to do, you know, much, the bare minimum. Or maybe you just, you know, you smart and you do want to do your work, but it's like, you know, don't really got that time, but I still want them grades. You know what I'm saying? But it's really important, especially if you want a 4.0, sorry. Especially if you want a 4.0 to get your work done. So what you have to do is kind of plan ahead for it. And so if there's like a paper you have to do, you would have to, you know, plan ahead. So for me, I would probably plan a week in ahead, like probably do the introduction first and a thesis statement of a paper, just so, or outline, just so I'm clear on what I'm going to write, because it's really hard to write a paper when the ideas are not like structured. And that's just for me. That's why I write outline, or I do the introduction and the thesis statement first, like, you know, ahead of time, so I know when it's time to write the paper what I'm going to write about, and that makes it a lot easier. So you just want to do your work, turn in your work. Try not to always be the person who turns in their work late, because that's just excuses all the time. So you just want to, you know, finish your work in a good amount of time or whatever, and turn in quality work too. Always do the most. Like, that's really my golden rule. Always do the most. There is nothing wrong with always doing the most in your schoolwork. Alright, so the fifth thing I want to share with you is to organize yourself. And so what I mean by that is kind of like two different things. One is with your schoolwork and your study habits and everything like that. Like, that has to be organized. And then two is with just your, like, with how you keep up with, you know, your school assignments, with tests, with projects and everything like that. And so on this side, what you want to do is maybe come up with a schedule or something to know, like, when you're going to study. Like, set aside a time for you to study, or set aside a place for you to study, you know, everything like that. That's really important to do. You know, just so you know, you can hold yourself accountable for, you know, the time that you don't spend studying and the time that you do spend studying. And that's really important, and that'll come into play for sure. So you want to keep that organized. And then also, you know, note cards were a big help for me when I was studying, or when I would study or whatever. And I don't know, like, people say note cards are like for short-term memory, but it really helps me. Like, it really helps me. And, you know, I usually know the information afterhand too, just because I spend so much time on the note cards and I kind of apply it, you know. So just however you do your note cards. But that's organization too. On this side, you want to keep a planner. Like, planners are not for everybody, but I know they're very helpful. So if you can learn to use one, what you would do is just get a planner. You can write down when things are due, because it's easy to lose track of when things are due, and then that'll be your downfall, because it's like, oh, I forgot about that, or can I take it over, or whatever, or can I, you know, redo it, like, and then it's just like crunch time and it's last minute, and it's like, you know. So it's just a lot that goes into that. So if you can get a planner, that's a lifesaver, because that's kind of just like writing your life out. Like, okay, I have this due this day, this due this day, I'm gonna do this today, you know. And that's basically what I do. And that's basically what I do, is just, you know, kind of write down, like, okay, I have this and this due on Monday. So today, which is probably Friday, I'm going to complete this and this. Or Saturday, I'm going to complete this and this. Sunday, I'm going to complete this. Just so I have a list of tasks to get done. And just setting up myself for success, so I get everything done in a good amount of time. So that's just how I use my planner, and it really comes in handy when, you know, you kind of like me and you got a short, you know, memory or whatever. So the last thing I want to tell you guys is to eat healthy. And I know it's like typical, like when you go to college, make sure you eat healthy or whatever. And it's really just like, when I say eat healthy, I don't mean like, you know, you gotta eat fruits and vegetables and stuff all the time. Even though that'll be great and that's ideal, I know that's not really realistic for the average college student. So I know when you're a college student, you kind of got your hands and everything. It's probably hard to remember to eat and drink, you know, the correct amount of food every day, you know. So 3 meals or 8 bottles of water or whatever you go by. You know, it's kind of hard to keep up with that sometimes, and that's really important, because that goes towards your energy, And when you have energy, you want to get things done. You want to take care of business. You're out there. You're, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're motivated, and that energy like drives you. But when you're not eating, you do not have energy. And when you do not have energy, it's like you just want to go to sleep all day. You just want to lay in bed, watch Netflix, just eat chips, and you know, and that's not really a good thing to do. Like, that's not a good setup, because you want to be energetic and you want to take care of business, and food is your fuel, and you're gonna need that fuel to get through these, you know, classes, get through the day, wake up, you know, go to sleep, you know, just keep healthy. And that's really important. And drinking water is also really important as well. Now I have a story for you guys. So this is really important. This is kind of like a little bonus or whatever, but it kind of relates to eating healthy. So one day, or this was my freshman year of college or whatever, so you know, this is around like final exam times. You know, I am BSing like with this certain class. Like, I really like have not studied for this final exam, and it's like, it's okay, I know what I'm doing, like it's really not that serious or whatever. And I didn't really, but I knew I needed to study, but I was like, it's okay if I don't. So, you know, I decided like, okay, I need to study, because he was talking about some stuff in class, and I was like, okay, I'm not understanding what you're saying. So I decided to study the night before and pull an all-nighter before my exam, and my exam was in the morning. Fail. This was a fail, because all night I was eating junk food. I was not getting sleep. I was just studying or whatever. I did not know anything. Now, don't get me wrong, I got a 4.0, so I got most of my stuff right, you know what I'm saying, because I'm extra with my work. And so it was a short essay exam, and so I short essayed it out. It was not short essay. So, but it was one question that I had studied for specifically the night before that I did not understand at all. I completely forgot everything. So whereas I understood the night before, you know what I'm saying, and I studied for it, I did not retain that information because I did not go to sleep, and I was not eating correctly, and I didn't drink no water or before, you know. So that's do not set yourself up for failure like that. You want to get some sleep. Like, it's okay to pull all-nighters every now and then, like, but not before a final exam, not before an exam, not before a presentation. Like, you want to get rested, you want to be asleep. Like, that gives your chance, or your brain a chance to, you know, rest and, you know, retain the information, I guess. Like, I guess that's how it works, because I didn't when I didn't get no sleep, I did not remember anything, and I stayed up all night for nothing. Like, it really did not come to fruition like what I really thought, you know, I was gonna gain from that. Okay, so that story was just to say, make sure you get sleep before an exam, because I know it's final exam time. Make sure you get some sleep. Make sure you drink water, because that'll, you know, pump up your brain juice or whatever. And make sure you eat healthy, so you can go in there full of energy, ready to work, and not sleepy. And, you know, don't do that to yourself. All right, good luck with final exams, everybody. Thank you for watching this video, and see you guys later. Bye.